Today, the Wall Street Journal has an interesting article titled "Germany Losing Its Mojo, Finding It Again Won't Be Easy." Well, I've been railing about this for so long, in part because it's simply madness, in part because also the United States, well, we're going down the same path. I want to bring in First Trust Advisor's Chief Economist, Brian Westbury. Brian, before I get to this and some other topics, I had a great conversation with Jason Furman a little earlier in the show. Just your thoughts, the Federal Reserve, this 2% inflation target, and anything else that you see happening right now.
Yeah, the Fed has gotten itself into backed itself into a real corner. They printed way too much money, and that tsunami of money is still here. We have permanently higher prices, gas prices, housing prices, and the Fed, by raising interest rates, that's not what's going to fix it. What's going to fix it is getting control of the money supply. And unfortunately, I think they're going to end up throwing the U.S. into a recession, trying to get back down to 2% after pushing inflation up so high.
Yeah, and that's why I'm in that camp as well. If you're going to be higher for longer, golly, taking a hammer to something that they've lost control over, it's not going to give them control. Let's talk a bit about this article today, because it starts off, the first sentence talks about complacency in Germany, but it also quotes one observer who says that the nation Germany will bounce back, although it suffers from two long-term elements. One, the old industrial system that is clinging to an irrational energy policy. Now, listen, no one thinks those can be fixed overnight, but particularly when you have a powerful industrial union and the Green Party.
Right, exactly. Charles, I kind of want to put this in a little bit of a historical context. Europe, as a whole, Western Europe, has had a higher unemployment rate and a slower growth rate than the U.S. for 50 years, all right? And the reason is because they've had a bigger government and more regulation. Now, Germany was able to use the combination of all the countries into the EU, and it's joining with East Germany at a favorable exchange rate to kind of benefit. So I don't think they've had a successful policy. I think they've just been the most powerful political country in Europe, and they've used that to suck in growth. But this crazy energy policy that they're doing, what they're really doing is throwing the poor of Germany under the bus for this fanciful idea that we can change the climate. And unless they shrink the government, unless they shrink regulation, unless they stop this crazy environmental policy set of policies, they will never come back.
Well,
and so this idea is...
Today they talked about subsidizing mortgages, so they're going the exact opposite. I got less than a minute, but I also want to share with the audience a chart. I actually saw this, I think, last week. So this is Germany's work ethic. 1871, they used to work 71 hours a week. Now they're approaching about 30. And believe me, I get it. We're not baling hay with big pitchforks anymore. But Western nations, I don't think we're putting in enough elbow grease in the machine to churn out the kind of prosperity that our children expect.
No, well, the government is too big. We are redistributing way too much. I'm looking at the immigration policies that New York is talking about today. Back when Ellis Island was open, people came in, we said, welcome to America, be productive. Today, we're like, welcome to America, here's a hotel room, here's healthcare, here's a cell phone, we are paying, in California, they want to pay the striking workers in Hollywood from government funds. We paid people not to work during COVID. I could go on a rant about this, but this is exactly what Germany has done. You can't close a factory anymore because you have to keep paying the workers. And as a result, nobody closes factories even if they're losing money. And as a result, productivity just keeps going down, worker hours keep going down, and the end result is poverty. Capitalism and small government are the way to prosperity. And we seem to have forgotten it all over the world. And Germany, it's not the canary in the coal mine, but it's the canary in the coal mine of Europe right now. And it's coming to the U.S.
And I hope we're watching. You just laid it out perfectly. Brian, thank you very much, my friend.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Charles.
it. All right, folks, we'll be right back.